Thousands of homeowners drop 10 grand on a shiny new heat pump every single year, only to open their next utility bill and realize it's actually higher than before.
No way, right?
But here's the contrarian truth. It is absolutely not the heat pump's fault. It's because the house simply wasn't ready for it. Today, I'm giving you one completely free, surprisingly simple test you can run right now. It reveals exactly what needs fixing before you drop a single penny on a system that could literally bleed your bank account dry in running costs. So, why do those bills go up? Well, it all comes down to a hidden mechanical enemy of home energy efficiency. There's literally one specific number that dictates if your upgrade is going to save you cash or completely ruin your finances. That number? It's called your flow temperature. Basically, this is the exact temperature of the water the very second it leaves your heat pump and heads into your radiators. And the golden rule here is that lower is significantly better. Most folks don't even know this variable exists, let alone that their installer is the one pulling the strings on it. Let's do the math real quick. Say your heat pump runs at a nice, low 30 degrees Celsius flow temperature. That gets you a coefficient of performance, or COP, of about 4.5. Meaning, for every unit of electricity you buy, you get 4.5 units of heat out of it. Sounds amazing, right? But if an installer cranks that flow temperature up to 65 degrees, which happens all the time because the radiators are too small, that COP tanks to around 2.0. You're literally cutting your system's efficiency in half. You are doubling the electricity needed just to heat the exact same room. Okay, to get why this happens, we have to look at a concept called mean water temperature. Think of it like this. Old radiators were built for gas boilers blasting out water at like 70 or 80 degrees. At those crazy high temps, a tiny radiator can heat a huge room no problem. But here is the physics secret. A traditional gas boiler running at a 50-degree flow and a heat pump at a 42.5-degree flow actually achieve the exact same mean water temperature in that radiator. They give you the exact same heat output and the exact same cozy comfort in your living room. Which brings us to part one of this explainer, the 50-degree boiler test, which is a completely free diagnostic you can run on your home. Here's the deal. If your house can stay perfectly warm with your current boiler running at just a 50-degree flow on a freezing day, your radiators are probably perfectly fine for a high-efficiency heat pump. Here is exactly how you do this test. Step 1. Wait for a cold winter day. We need single-digit temperatures close to freezing. Doing this on a breezy autumn afternoon is totally useless. Step 2. Go to your boiler and dial the space heating flow temperature down to exactly 50 degrees Celsius. Do not touch the hot water settings, okay? Just the radiators. Step 3. Step away. Leave the house to stabilize for at least 3 hours. Don't tweak the thermostat, don't open windows, just wait. All right, time is up. Now you walk through every room and check the temperature. If every room hits 20 degrees and stays there, boom, you pass. Your existing radiators are completely ready for low temperature system. If the radiators stay cold and you're freezing, you fail. But don't panic. It just means your radiators are undersized and need an upgrade first. Honestly, though, the most common result is marginal, like 1 or 2 rooms lag behind a bit. And here is the massive secret installers skip. Spending a few €100 now to upgrade those couple of weak radiators will literally save you thousands in running costs later. Fix the radiators first, then fit the heat pump. Oh, and there is an incredible hidden perk to doing this right now. By dropping your boiler's flow to 50 degrees, the water coming back to it drops below 54 degrees. This instantly forces your standard gas boiler into condensing mode. It starts grabbing heat from exhaust gases that were literally just blowing out of your roof before. You instantly stop wasting fuel, and you start saving money on your gas bill tonight. How cool is that? So you check the radiators, you pass the test, and you go ahead and book an installer, right? Well, hold on. Here is what most homeowners miss, and it's actually the second major financial trap of retrofitting. It's all about the hot water cylinder. Your standard gas boiler cylinder uses a little heating coil that's maybe 1.5 to 2.5 square meters. But because a heat pump uses much cooler water, trying to reuse that old cylinder is a colossal mistake. To transfer enough heat efficiently, a heat pump requires a massive coil. We're talking drastically larger, usually around 4.5 square meters. If an installer just slaps your expensive new heat pump onto that old, undersized cylinder coil, the heat transfer is just way too slow. The heat pump physically cannot heat the water fast enough, so the whole system panics. It immediately falls back on the direct immersion heater. And guys, that immersion heater operates at a disastrous COP of exactly 1.0. You end up paying for raw, direct electricity at full premium price, completely wiping out every single efficiency gain you just paid for. Let's look at part 2 of our analysis, the real financial math, and exposing those actual running costs. Let's translate all this engineering jargon into real money. If we use current European electricity rates and a standard 12,000 kilowatt-hour annual heat demand as our baseline, the stakes get very real very fast. Because electricity is generally way more expensive than gas right now, your new heat pump needs to hit a COP of roughly 3.9 just to break even with your old standard gas boiler. Let that sink in. If your system runs below a 3.9 COP because you kept bad radiators or the wrong water cylinder, you are actively paying more money to heat your house than you were before. Visually, it's pretty shocking. A modern gas boiler costs roughly $750 a year to run. A well-designed heat pump cruising at a low 30-degree flow temperature, that beats the boiler, coming in around $700 a year. But a badly designed heat pump, screaming at 65 degrees because the house wasn't tested or prepared, that's going to cost you over $1,500 a year. That is an $800 penalty every single year for the exact same amount of heat. It perfectly proves our absolute core principle here. The technology is not the variable. The design is. You can bolt the exact same heat pump hardware to the side of a house and get two radically different financial outcomes. It literally all comes down to the installer's math, the size of your emitters, and whether you prepared the home properly. So it's basically a tale of two futures. Homeowner A skips the test, reuses the old cylinder, and their system defaults to a 60-degree flow. Their bills absolutely skyrocket past $1,500, and they blame the heat pump. But homeowner B? They run our little 50-degree test, spend maybe $400 upgrading 2 weak radiators, put in the right cylinder, and their system just purrs at a 35-degree flow. Their bills stay under $800, the value of their home goes up, and the system actually pays them back over time. So before spending $20,000 on the wrong upgrade, make absolutely sure you understand how all these pieces fit together. If you want a one-on-one home energy audit to review your specific retrofit plan, just shoot us an email for a consultation. Or click the school link to see real case studies with actual before and after utility bills. Get your house ready first, let the math guide you, and whatever you do, don't fall into the heat pump trap.